Dillon Danis has been going on a tear. I think this is the third specific video that I've dedicated to this situation, mostly because I find it immensely entertaining. And it's also a very good education point, and it also shows the societal temperature when it comes to dealing with hoes, finally addressing them as such. You love to see it. So many people are waking up off the back of this. It really is a beautiful thing to see, and it's properly casting everybody involved in this situation in the proper light, at least in my opinion. So I wanted to figure out, though, when exactly is this fight that Dillon Danis is promoting? Because obviously this all just started of him posting pictures of Logan Paul's fiance, Nina Agdal, with, I forget, I've lost track of the amount of dudes that he's posted pictures with her in, and the amount of videos, scenarios, and oh my god, the clips. Probably the absolute nuclear bomb. I prayed that that was the worst thing that was coming up. And here I was thinking, with all of the heat that he's dropping right now, all of the fire that he's spitting, all the time that he spent in the kitchen cooking this cuck, I was thinking that this fight has got to be coming up soon. And then I take a look at this. Take a look at this. Dillon Danis is set to fight YouTuber Logan Paul on October 14th. Bruh, he's still got 6 weeks. He's got 6 weeks to cook this fucker. How much worse can it get? And especially with the clip that's making the rounds right now, there's no coming back from that one. I seen that, and that's one of those times. Normally, I'll just get a chuckle out of those situations, or just go, "Oh my god, she's taking a picture with him," or she said what in that clip. But this one, I was dumbstruck when I first heard it. I just mouth agape like I was Daisy fucking Ridley, for Christ's sakes. Holy, it was mind shattering, and it's one of those things, man. It's like Logan Paul better win, and he better convince Nina to come along with 4 of her other friends, and he can just marry up the entire harem, because otherwise, I was just thinking haram, but that's this entire situation. The Logan and Nina side of this, Dillon Danis is doing the Lord's work by exposing a hoe and then shaming a cuck. This is the first time in a long time that we're finally seeing shame return to society, and it couldn't happen to a better person, because Logan Paul is just absolute fucking trash. But we'll just go into this, because the background of Dillon Danis, it's funny. He's actually been just kind of a bit-rate player, but he's also popped up in some very important conversations and situations beforehand. So Dillon Danis' name has become recognizable overnight ahead of his fight with YouTuber Logan Paul, after Danis launched a series of personal attacks online. On Monday, Danis turns head by sharing an X-rated video of Paul's model fiance, and we'll see that one. It's not actually, X-rated or anything like that. It's just her in bed. Surprise! Just saying some stuff that just is absolutely shocking and should be engagement breaking. But Logan Paul, hey man, he's going down like a captain. He's going down with the SS homemaker. Like, once a cuck, always a cuck. The American ex-MMA fighter is best known for training alongside UFC icon Conor McGregor, but has a history in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and other martial arts. He's apparently won a couple of tournaments in BJJ. It's just, and his MMA career, well, he hasn't had a lot of fights, and I think he's been out of the game since, it's been a couple of years since he's had a professional fight. And again, it's another example of the Paul brothers cherry-picking their opponents. Shout out to Jake Paul. He's an exceptionally talented boxer, and nothing but respect for him. Even though he does cherry-pick his opponents, like Ben Askren, never been known to throw hands. Tyron Woodley, same situation, but, still, he was a UFC welterweight champion, for Christ's sakes. Anderson Silva, even though he is closer to 50 than he was to 40, it's still, at the end of the day, Anderson Silva, and they beat them. They beat them soundly and handily, knocked all 3 of them out, I do recall. And I think recently also took Nick Diaz, one of the Diaz brothers, to a decision, kind of a contested decision, but even still, he's got hands. Logan Paul, on the other hand, 0-2 inside of a boxing ring. And the first guy that he lost to was his brother's arch nemesis, and they decided to start an energy drink company. Like, Logan Paul is a scummy motherfucker, and like I said, it's so great that this situation has come about, just exposing the people that you cannot trust in your life, the people not worthy of your attention, who they are, and what you should do with them. Because Logan Paul's history, for as many times as everybody brings up the old self-deletion forest in Japan, the fact that he was out there just crying and on the apology tour, and how he's become a PC cuck, how flip-floppy he was when it came to the Andrew Tate stuff and tried to sell him out. It's so funny how turnabout is fair play this time around. He wanted to go ahead and make up and side with all of the false accusers against Tate. Now that all of this stuff has happened to you, and it's true, it's real, and it's verifiable. Like I said, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. This is why you don't get into business with cucks or simps, man. It's never going to end well for you. Cocky competitor has more than 2 million followers on Instagram and a 100% win record in U.S. welterweight MMA division. Aside from sharing personal attacks on Paul and Agdal, Danis has used his social media to share love for disgraced podcaster Andrew Tate. See, because he's following three people. Andrew and Tristan Tate and Conor McGregor. And yeah, he's also interacted with Tate a couple of times. Andrew, a couple of different times. And they were going to be sparring or something like that when he was over in Europe. But things ended up going sketchy when it came to that press conference that Dillon absolutely dog-walked him on. Paul trying to stick up. My brother fucked one of your ex-girlfriends. And Dillon shoots back, yeah, I got rid of that hoe. You're wifing up one. And yeah... And then the crowd went wild because you would think Logan Paul, who's also been signed to the WWE, he's apparently talented inside the rings, but the guy cannot cut a promo to save his fucking life. Even his snippets from the Fed are absolutely abysmal. This is a kid who grew up in front of the camera on Vine and on YouTube, and he cannot improvise on the stick. What the fuck is going on here? What did you guys sign? Why did you give him all this money if he's just such a middle-of-the-road hack when it comes to selling a fight? If it wasn't for Dillon, nobody would be talking about this event. Now I've seen that it's absolutely sold out, and this isn't even the main event. It's KSI against Tommy Fury or something like that. I'm like, bro, who the fuck cares? This one right here, this is the big deal, because for weeks at this point in time, and still weeks to go, this is the only thing that's drawing eyeballs. KSI and Tommy Fury? Who the fuck gives a shit? It's all about the Dillon Danis show and how much embarrassment Logan Paul can put up with. Danis and Paul are set to fight at the AO Arena in Manchester, UK on October 14th. I don't know how much you can take, man. Like, this is going to be fucking abysmal because, yeah. Oh, yeah, and that was another screenshot. Okay, he's poking fun at Logan Paul's when he was wearing, the little Toy Story alien beanie when he was outside the Big Self-Oof forest in Japan. Just the audacity of this guy is hilarious. You'll love it. According to Brazilian jiu-jitsu heroes, Danis decided to start training in mixed martial arts at the age of 15 after getting into a street fight at his home state in New Jersey. Realizing his potential as a professional fighter, Danis joined MMA Academy and began training under the direction of Jamie Cruz. To maximize his potential, Danis trained as a wrestler at Parsippany Hills with coach Jason Lodato and on top of his mixed martial arts classes, went to go train with Marcelo Garcia. Oh, these are legit names, by the way. From 2015 to 2018, he competed in 34 MMA fights, racking up an 18-16 record. So, okay, yeah. Kind of a trash record, if we're going to be completely honest. But again, more wins than losses and 34 fights. Shout out to him. It actually takes courage to step into a ring not knowing if you're going to be having your hand raised in victory or even waking up, because you're legitimately putting your life on the line when you step inside of the cage. In that time, he developed a reputation on social media as a bad boy, which led to Garcia severing ties with him in 2017, saying he didn't want Dillon to be a representative of his academy. And now everybody wants Dillon Danis to be a representative of their brand, because the dude gets views. Look at this. This was just posted on the 28th, a couple of days ago when this video ends up releasing. 128.7 million views just on this one. You could take a look at, what would it be, Social Blade or something like that, but this guy's getting probably close to 1 billion views over the past. It's probably even over 1 billion. I'm probably underselling it because there's some certain pictures that went exceptionally viral. Did a video on that stuff, just cataloging everything that's there, and that's not even everything. There's video clips of her just being an outright thought, and this one, like I said, it just, wow, like, you don't come back from something like this. Like, this is just absolutely atrocious. And then, of course, you got this little clip that's underneath it as well, and I just want to have the perfect context on this one, just to let you know the type of girl that Nina is for Logan. Okay, so yeah, this is the same girl that made Logan wait for it. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, let's have the context. So this is a snippet from Logan Paul's podcast where he interviewed his fiance, which is baffling in and of itself. Like, anybody cares about the inner workings of your relationship, but it also just shows what kind of headspace Logan Paul is in. Oh, take a look at my girlfriend. And it's like, that's wonderful. She's older than you, and then it just gives people incentive to go and dig into her past. Like, you're trying to promote this as a flex. Oh, I bagged myself a Sports Illustrated swimsuit girl. Okay, whatever. It would be far more impressive if you found that same, as you like to call her, a dime piece. I would say you could probably trade in. You could probably barter for about 7.5. But whatever, man. You go ahead and if you think you got yourself a catch, just realize that you're putting her out there. It just shows your insecurity because you need to seek external validation. And again, he's been in front of the camera for how long? Over a decade. So yeah, of course, he didn't have a normal childhood. He hasn't had a normal adulthood. Everything has been in service of attention and validation. So why wouldn't he put his romantic life out there on Front Street and, well, also end up just kind of looking like a gigantic cuck?
Like you not having sex with me for the duration of time that you did was very important.
Yeah, that's just big cope right there. Okay. Listen, guys, she didn't have genuine burning desire for me, but that was all right. That was all right. You know, it made the lead up far more special. Just shut up.
Something was wrong with me.
I'll be honest. I thought I did.
You talked to Mike about it.
Yeah, exactly. This bitch ain't fucking. She's been out here in the streets. It's like everybody knows her, okay? Even B-level podcasters said that, yeah, I had a turn with her and 3 of my friends as well. Like, what the fuck? If she's not fucking on day one and you know that she's out there in the streets like that, the fuck is wrong? And you decided, no, man, she's gonna be good for me, man. She's had her time. She's grown as an individual, and now she's coming back to me. It's my girl. Oh my Christ.
Said this girl's perfect as far as I can tell.
It is actually why I was.
She's perfect. She's perfect. And again, you know, he's seeking advice from somebody who tried to wife up the biggest corn star in the game, Lana Rhoades. He got down on one knee. Normally she's accustomed to getting down on 2 knees, but he tried to wife up a professional hoe. See, this is why you have to pick your friend group appropriately, man, because when you start rolling with lames, you start acting like them. Like, if somebody's looking down his nose at you, quite ample nose of Mike Majlak, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, Mike Big Cuck, we'll go with that one. If he's even looking at you and going, yeah, I went down this road. It wasn't the best one. Now you're going down. I can't stop you. All I can do is just set up warning flags. And if you're just going to continue to plow right through it, I don't know what to tell you, bro, because it's clearly you're running through those flags less than you will for the girl that you're trying to take seriously. The fuck is going on?
I was asking the questions because there are a lot of people out there who have this conversation around how long people wait to have sex and how that then translates into marriage.
Spoiler, if there's no genuine burning desire, like there's some chicks that are just not on the first date under no circumstances or whatever, but if you can't tell that desire where it's like, oh, if I didn't have that religious conviction, or oh, if my dad wouldn't beat my ass, I would totally be on top of you right now. If that's not existent in that relationship, it's not going to be a lasting relationship because you cannot negotiate desire. She, Nina Agdal, like we've said multiple times before, you know, Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, all of that stuff. She's also 31 years old, 31 to 32, I think 31. Regardless, she has diminishing value because she's a model at the end of the day, guys. Like, come on, man. Her market value goes down precipitously. Logan Paul, on the other hand, he has the world at his fingertips. He's got that stupid ass Prime drink, which I'm not going to drink or anything like that, but it is obviously wildly successful. He's got all of the opportunities in the WWE. He's got a hugely successful podcast. Like, this guy is a fucking money printer. He makes the money machine go burr whenever he does anything. If he has all of those status markers and this old bitch ain't giving it up, what the fuck are you doing? Oh man, she made me chase for it, so that means that she's a high value woman. You're out of your mind, man. If she doesn't understand that you're somebody worthy to be locked down and she's not trying to do everything in her power as quickly as possible, she doesn't see you as a lifetime partner. She sees you as a fucking mark.
And so that is where I was going.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens in a disagreement here? Because I don't see this often.
Sorry. Let me clarify.
I know.
Would it have changed the outcome? No.
No.
Do I have a good amount of respect for it, and did I appreciate it? I absolutely did.
Yeah, after the fact, you've seen all of that head movement that was right there. Did I have a lot of appreciation for it? He's trying to convince himself, okay, because nobody else is fucking buying that. And it's like, okay, if she would have gave it up, yeah, you probably would have. You know what? Obviously, with the amount of experience she has, she probably knows a couple of additional tricks that you've never seen before. And then all of a sudden, she made your toes curl. And it's like, oh, that's the girl for me. No difference between Logan Paul and some crypto dork that's out there, which, given the fact that he also scammed a bunch of crypto dorks, I guess, kind of puts him in the same pool that's out there. And the moment that some middlingly attractive woman gives one of those guys attention, they just start making it rain on everybody. She's savvy, man. And this is why I tell you, and so many other smart creators out there tell you as well, you have to understand female nature before you even bother trying to get into a relationship. You have to vet your chick for 6 months to a year, 18 months before you even take her seriously. How long have these two been together? Like, short of a year, and they're already engaged. It's like, bro, you just handed over half of your shit, if not more, because she's gonna come up with some sob story here in less than 5 years. Like, this relationship isn't gonna fucking last. We already know that's the case. Like, there are so many markers that's right there, and he'll just go ahead and justify that. Oh, I didn't see that coming, and I think it was all the social media pressure that just put so much on our relationship, and that's why it was doomed to start with. He'll have all the fucking excuses in the book, if we even know the name Logan Paul 5 years from now. But let's go.
I absolutely did.
Yep.
I thought it was classy.
Oh my God. Let me just look for different things that I can say right now in order to justify my stupid decision. Yeah, no, and nothing's coming.
Kind of always wanted my fiance to be that.
Like,
yeah, like Cleopatra, the world's most famous whore. Probably not quite, but obviously, like, he's even just dropping a little bit of a truth right there. I always wanted my wife to, not be a whore, but I had to settle for a reformed whore, and I thought that would be alright because you decided to withhold and leverage sex against me. Yeah, no, I can try to rationalize that and make that work for me, right? Right? Everybody believes my forced smile, right?
Cleopatra with the fucking lock on her vagina.
I liked it. I respected it.
I needed to make sure you weren't just some fucking.
She thought I was love bombing her.
Yeah, I thought.
Right?
I thought there was something.
I like
on.
you like me. I have a.
That just also shows you that she has a lot of fucking experience in the game, if she even knows those tactics. Like, if somebody's been using that on her as well in order to try to famous her in the past when they didn't have all that money that she could go ahead and leverage and extract in order to get some sort of attention for you. Dude, this is so fucking sad. But again, you can't say that the world hasn't warned you, Logan, because this is an old-ass clip, and even at the time when it first came out, everybody was going, the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, you're Logan Paul. Somebody should tell you that.
Crushing
That's
you.
a lot.
We're gonna be together for a long time. I could just be spewing bullshit from my mouth. She doesn't know me, bro.
You are.
I didn't know.
She has no idea who I am,
She has no idea. Bruh, I don't watch your content. Like, you're up there on the pantheon of famous YouTubers like PewDiePie, fucking Mr. Beast. It's like, it's the Paul brothers and everybody else. I can't even think of more famous YouTubers, individual YouTubers that are out there. She doesn't know she knew exactly who you are, fucker. Like, let's not fucking play stupid here.
Stop her from being the Nordic vortex.
Oh my God, just so fucking stupid. And again, when you're rolling with lames like that, it's not surprising that you can't decipher obvious fucking tells like this. I have no idea where Dillon ended up dragging up this clip, but I think I've dragged this out long enough. It's probably longer than the time that she's going to specify here in a second, but this one right here, I don't know. This will be the second time that I listen to this in totality, at least in separated spots, because I probably let this one run a couple of different times where it was something, man. But if you even get the inkling that your chick is anything like this, to the streets. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to the fucking. This bitch belongs to the galaxy because she's been everywhere, bro. Holy fuck. Let's play Spot the Red Flag.
By the way, I'm very proud of myself. This is the longest I've ever gone without sex since I started.
She's talking on social media. Obviously, this is a video because she's not addressing anybody specifically. This isn't leaked or anything like that because it's been up for a couple of days. So obviously, this is just a plea to the world. And I know how this ends. And it's like, yeah, It really is. This was public. If you have a girl who's talking like this, and it's not just to you specifically, that's one of the biggest hotels that there is. But we still got 34 seconds.
Obviously, it's driving me crazy.
So she can't go. This is the longest stretch that I've had. The longest stretch that I've had without having sex since I've started having sex, and it's driving me crazy. But she was very specific in saying, that's why we played the proper context of the impulsive interview down there. Oh, she made Logan Paul, her now fiance, wait for a long enough period of time where it was worth noting. See where we're going with on this one? There is no genuine desire there.
I am struggling.
I'm struggling. Oh my, those eyes are wide like saucers. It's just like she is a dick-seeking missile right now.
I mean penis.
Oh my god. This is the part where it was like, this is just holy fuck. If I would have heard this, okay, if Logan was holding on at this point in time and he started to hear this stuff, it's like, bro, it's the fucking game over. I don't know how you listen to that and you don't just look up at this bitch and go, hey, you might as well just pack everything and get the fuck out, because it's just I made a mistake. You can keep the ring, fuck it, I'll hold that L right there, but you gotta go. You gotta get it as far away from me as humanly possible. If you need to go get some dick elsewhere, but it's a fucking wrap right now, because I cannot be seen with you in public like this anymore. This is so fucking embarrassing.
Inside of me. ASAP. Like, all I want is like a big fat sausage just destroying my body.
I really thought towards the end of this that was just going to be a double entendre. It's like, she's in bed and whatever. Okay, make a couple of spicy jokes. Women are terrible at comedy. So, just a couple of spicy jokes up front. And then she tries to make the double entendre with sausage and then say, now I'm going to order breakfast in bed. I know that Dillon tweeted out the video and all that stuff, and I also understand that, this wasn't going to end well, but I was hoping, maybe a little bit in the back of my mind, just hoping a little bit more so for humanity, because I know that this bitch is a total fucking hoe, and this just drives that point home. But I was really just hoping that this was going to be an undercover, like a breakfast in bed order. I was really hoping so, but then she's just, I need it destroying. I was like, oh my god, like my destruction in thinking that there's just, genuine chicks that are out there like Nina. It's just that little twinkle, that little bit of hope that's out there in the universe, gone. It's gone with that statement. It's like, wow, I had very little to begin with. Okay, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percentage. But now wow, who's just gone away with all of that.
So, if any of you guys know a good dick that doesn't have STDs on it, I'll take it. Right here.
I gotta go. I gotta go. Wow. I gotta go. I gotta go. It's holy shit, bro. She's like I said, this was shocking. This was shocking the first time that I heard it. It just continued to get worse. I can't even look at this bitch. I can't look at her in the eye right now. Oh my god, right there. Oh my god, it's terrible. I would rather see two sweaty men rolling around together, okay? Because that was so destructive to anybody's life. And I'm so glad that video is getting so much attention. 127 million views. Bruh, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And at the moment that I said ridiculous, Nina's ears perked up in the distance. But what the fuck, man? She's out there soliciting random dick on the internet? What the fuck? I know that I've repeated what the fuck a multitude of times, but how else do you address that? That is one of the sluttiest things that I've ever seen online. But it's shit like this right now, and shout out to Dillon Danis, man, for putting this shit on blast. It was funny to begin with the LeBron picture, and dragging up the old Leo relationship. Like, that was all funny, man. Like, she's had the high status guys that are out there. It's like, yeah, for people that are in the know, the RP guys that are out there, you already know. Ooh, yeah, if she's been on a yacht, she got. And if she's also been around in these high status areas, obviously one of those guys in the Leonardo DiCaprio, if you take a look at his laundry list, like, this guy, fucks and chucks at a record rate. So you're already getting somebody's leftovers, and highly likely that you're going to end up getting somebody's alpha widow. Not exactly setting yourself up for success. But now, as things have continued to go on, and it just seems like he's got that Santa Claus bag of never-ending gifts, it's really red-pilling the world. And as much as, some idiots that are out there, shout out Snako, who think that, RP stuff is all dead. It's like, bro, you just have to understand, you were never really RP to begin with if you think that you can just go ahead and pivot away from this stuff. I've been deep in this stuff, since about 2014. I've shouted out my origin story a multitude of times. The Patrice O'Neal, Black Phillip show, back in the cut, long after it had already run its course. But when I discovered the show and started listening to that stuff, it really started to connect a bunch of dots. And something else that really crystallized my thought process on this stuff was founding the Fresh and Fit podcast in early 2022. It just connected those final pieces, and it just made me more of a complete individual. So that's why I will always shout out Myron and those guys that are over there, because I think that they do life-changing stuff. Because now, even guys that I was ragging on earlier this year, well, they're really starting to come around to this stuff. And you know what? I never thought after all the Eliza Blue shit, another hoe where if you associate with them, they'll end up ruining your life. See how all of this stuff always comes completely around. Once you take the red pill, once you really start to understand this shit, it never fucking goes away. You see it everywhere. You can get mad at it. You can absolutely detest its existence. But the fact of the matter is, it's fucking there. And you can move appropriately with that information that you've learned. Or you can just go ahead and curse its existence and travel down the black pill route, but I don't quite think so. But you got little Tim right here saying, apparently they are mad at me for saying high-value men should shame sluts for being sluts, which is what we're seeing right now. What the fuck would I care what these sluts think? Yo, this dude is out here fucking wild, and this one right here, 1.1 million views, and everybody's trying to post the gotchas. I have no idea who grandma is right there. Frankly, I don't fucking care, but he's making sense. I know all about his history and all that stuff of him fucking his producer and shit like that. Okay, Tim not being the most upstanding of individuals. But when the man's is right, the fucking man's is right. That's why I've been so on board when it comes to the Dillon Danis stuff, because, well, it's hilarious, but then it's also the reintegration of shame into society. But where does this pivot from Tim Pool come from? Okay, because I know he's been doing his little politics. He's the biggest fucking guy on this platform, for Christ's sakes, but he's been, doing this shit over off to the side. But where does this pivot come from? Like I said, shout out the boys that are out there. I did a little scrolling through Timmy's timeline right there, and he doesn't often shout out his own shows. But one that he did, which I would highly recommend if you want to go watch it, is the episode he did on Friday of The Culture War. It's his own little midday podcast that he runs on one of his channels that isn't the podcast channel, and Fresh and Fit were on the podcast channel, talking more politics and stuff like that. And just, it was basically Myron showing how learned he is on the subject and how big of an improvement. That's what I'll say about the Timcast IRL show. I used to be a rabid listener back in 2020 when Adam Krigler was on the show. It was a really good show back in the day. But then I'd pop in every once in a while whenever there was a guest that I liked or something like that and listen to it. And it was just Tim basically babbling over the top of everybody. It's like, Christ almighty, the show's called Timcast IRL. I think they understand who the fucking host is. Let your guest speak. That's the reason that you brought him on there. But because Fresh and Fit were going to be on the show, I tuned in and I found it to be highly enjoyable. It was a really good show. But this one right here, the Culture War one, well, it was more about, yes, dating, masculinity, men's issues, and all that stuff. And then this Jason Howerton guy on the other side of the table just spouting off all of your TradCon talking points of basically who hurt you, Myron, and guys just need to pray harder, accept more responsibility, and then just wife up these hoes. That was basically the gist of his message. And, oh, you wouldn't understand. You don't have kids. It's like, you can also understand the world objectively and then just move accordingly. But that's all right, bro. If we just need to go ahead and indulge your opinions and your feelings feelings on things, and that validates you. Good for you. Myron and Fresh are over there changing men's lives for the better. You just go ahead and parrot your talking points and live like it's 1950. I built a fortress in the woods. Good for you. I'm sure that you're going to be setting up your kids for great success. I don't wish anything on them, but I'm sure, you know, Logan and Jake Paul's father probably thought he was doing the exact same thing, man. Didn't want his kids to repeat the follies of his youth, and now, well, we just end up seeing what's going on right there. Some people are doomed to repeat the sins of the past, and others, well, they're going to end up changing their own trajectory and learning from other people's mistakes. Or it really is just Tim Pool just trying to grift off of a new topic. Who really knows at the end of the day? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.